I'm going to be doing a recording on the different functions of peer-to-peer.com. The first part of peer-to-peer, what we have is track and trace. So the different functions for track and trace is we do container surveillance with our container tracking. We also have vessel tracking and we have air freight tracking. So if we do container tracking first, I'll just use this example. What we basically do is we do this web scraping. So what we do is we go to the shipping lines website, then we retract that information and we feed that back to you. So as you can see here, once you put in your container number, it takes only a few seconds for us to be able to find the result for you. Then once you see the different details here in regards to your container surveillance, then what you can do is you can set up this tracking. So what this will do is that every time there's a specific update on the container, is that we'll send you an email notification in regards to what that change was. So then obviously you don't need to track your container daily. What you'll do is you'll just get the email notifications whenever you need them from ourselves. So you just click here and then you can put a reference. So you, for example, say client A, just so that you remember which container it was that you put under our surveillance system. As you can see here now that it's set up, every time there's a different milestone on this container, you'll get an email notification in regards to what that change was. What we also have then, if you go to the third column here, if you go to track and trace surveillance, what you'll be able to see is all the different containers that you have under our surveillance system. So you'll be able to see every container that you have under surveillance, which means that you don't need to track them then every day. You can just go back to this page and then you'll be able to see every container that you've got under our surveillance system. Then once you have a look here at this example, so this is sort of how it works, is it stays white whenever you've set it up. It will stay white until there is another change or a change in the specific milestone. Then it's going to go to pink and then it will get darker and darker, as you can see with this example in the second row. It's went from white, stayed white for 2 days, and then it changed to pink and got gradually darker and darker the closer it gets to the destination port. Then what you can see is we've got only your containers, so it's only showing my containers. But if you wanted to see the containers that your colleagues have also put on the surveillance system, all you have to do is click all containers. Then you'll be able to see every container that your company has under this surveillance system. Then if we go back to the main page, what we have is vessel tracking. So it's very similar to marine traffic, but we just give you a little bit more updates, a little bit of a detailed sort of overview of where the specific vessel is. So as you can see here, we can see where the vessel is going to be going. We can see New York, as we can see there. Also, we have an ETA, so that's based off primarily just the speed. We don't take into consideration any port delays or anything like that. What you can then look at, sort of gauge how long it's going to take, is you can look back at each of these orange dots. They show the specific different milestones that the vessel undertook. So you can sort of see the change in the speed and gauge how long it's going to take. And it will also give you the date and time that we last picked up the radio signal of the specific vessel. Then we have air freight. So I'll just do another example, but basically the whole idea with this is that if you go into the shipping lines website or the airlines website, is you can put the information in here and then we give you the specific data that we've collected in regards to that. As you can see here, so sometimes it just takes a few seconds. And then we can see this is a specific air freight with Lufthansa. So it just saves you a lot of time. Instead of you going to Lufthansa or Maersk's website, is that you can just put in all your track and trace queries into our website and then we'll be able to give you the results straight away. And then as you can see at the very bottom there, it also says couriers. So DHL, FedEx and other shipments you can also track there at the very bottom. We have this world map function, so you can just search anywhere in the world. And what this is going to be able to give you is the sort of a logistical map of wherever you've searched. So you can see the blue pins show you where the rail transportation routes are. We just zoom on. You can also see the yellow pins show you where the local ports are. So this is very useful if you want to search somewhere just to find out where the sort of logistic routes are on this specific location. What we also have here at the top is searching for transport routes. So basically what this is we track 250,000 containers each month. with this data that we've collected, then we can tell you which shipping lines are going from point A to point B. So you can put in any two ports and it's going to be able to tell you which shipping lines are going from the two ports, as you can see here. So as we can see, for example, in this fourth one, we can see Hapag-Lloyd is going directly from Hamburg to Singapore. If you click this red track and trace, you're going to see the container that we've tracked to be able to verify that Hapag-Lloyd is going directly from Hamburg to Singapore. And then if you just scroll on, you can also see some of the transit times. So you can have a sort of estimate about how long it took for it to go from this port, Hamburg to Singapore. We'll just go to the 3D load calculator. So this is just to sort of optimize whenever we're loading containers, because obviously container prices are always getting more expensive. So we want to be able to optimize to make sure that we're being able to load our containers to the highest sort of potential. So I'm just going to put in some random dimensions. And then what we're going to be able to see is what it's going to do is it's going to suggest which container should be used. As we can see here. And it's also going to show the sort of space left in the container. So you have this 3D model, so you can see piece by piece the way it should be loaded into the container. As you can see here. So you can sort of see it in a more interactive view. If you want to send it to a client or you want to send it to anyone else, then they can see it in a more interactive way, the way that this 40TC container should be loaded. What you can also do is you can share the tracking URL. So basically what this is just like with Google Docs, is you can click view and edit for each of the details and you can send it to a colleague. Then what they can do is obviously edit what you've created live time. So it really just means that you can work together with a colleague or whatever sort of third party you need to work together on the container calculation. So as you can see, they can go back and change the different requirements, then that will load through on your side as well. So as you can see with the equipment, you can see the different preset ones that we have on the system. So you can do it for ULDs at the top, the different container dimensions, and you can also do it for trailers. What you can also do as well is you can load your containers 90% of the size. So why is that sort of important? Is just in case you're loading into things like cardboard boxes, sometimes there is this margin of error in regards to something could be 10.1 centimeters instead of 10 centimeters. So you can load it to 90% to be sure that everything's going to 100% fit and to take into consideration any sort of margin of error. You can also create new equipment, so you can create a new equipment and load into a box instead of a container or trailer or ULD, or else if the specific trailer dimensions that we don't have in the, or that we do have in the system, if they aren't the ones that you require, then you can also create a new trailer here. And then everything will save in the system for 1 year and 6 months. You can always go back and use it again. Then if you go to cargo dimensions, what you can do is we've integrated our system with Excel. So if you just download this template sheet here, what you can do is you can just input your information directly into the sheet, and then it's just a simple copy and paste into the website, and then it recognizes everything that you've inputted, obviously saving a lot of time then. So that is everything on the peertopeer.com website.